It's a way of talking, making art. You know, if you just don't want to sit down and talk about it, you can draw it or you can paint it. So I spent a lot of time doing printmaking, but I also did painting, oil paintings of my children, oil painting of lots of things. I first got into teaching in public school for a year and a half or 2 years, found a job at the art center. And eventually I became head of the school for adults and children. And that was a wonderful, wonderful time working with kids. And we came up with something called the Yellow Space Place, where children could come and make drawings. And we kept the drawings and we put them on the wall, so they knew that their drawings and paintings counted. There were a group of us that were the first people to settle downtown in old houses. And then we started having babies. We had to have some way to take care of the babies and do our work and everything. And so we had a babysitting co-op here. And nobody had any money. So you built up hours. We would just swap the kids off from one to another. So you have to be creative in all kinds of ways of life. Well, the hangar house was very important. Since we had saved it from being pushed down for the freeway, we had to do something with it. And so we had been living down in that area anyway because it was working at the art center. So we were lucky to find photographs from the past. They weren't in color, but they led us on the path. Today, people say less is more for architecture. But then the Victorians said, too much is not enough. So it had all this design and all this color, you know, and it's just so different. When they were doing the Lafayette Hotel, Charles told the contractor that there were some people who could recreate that painting. He did hire us to do that work. It was 6 women, and the workers there did not like having women on the job at all. But we persevered, and we went through, and we finished. And when we finished the job, the contractor said, I would like for you to go and get a contractor's license. And I said, why do I need a contractor's license? And he said, because I have many buildings that I would like to have you work on, and you'll have to have a contractor's license. And I was the first woman in Arkansas to get a contractor's license. It's a difference between making a piece of art that might be telling something inside you or showing something that you've seen, but the other thing was a puzzle, the historic restoration. So it was a challenge. It was a different challenge. It didn't come from your inside, it came from history. It's so rewarding, every aspect of it. I was able to find a bunch of young people who were artists or had art techniques or could be taught well. And we'd go out into the boonies, and I enjoyed that part very much. It kind of kept me young. The restoration lets you understand the past. It's just like going through a family album. Everyone was different by its way. It lets you see how doing decorative things aren't just goofy, that they're something that enhances the architecture, and it enhances the person that gets to look at it.
You've been given this amazing award, Lifetime Achievement Award.
Yeah.
I'm just wondering, what are your thoughts on that?
Oh, wept. It's just a big deal. I'm not that good in the limelight. I'm better on the ladder.